Hey guys, welcome to the second part of the tree series. This part is going to cover the UNTerrain component. So the UNTerrain component has to be on every terrain that needs to have interactable trees. One thing to know is that on every terrain you want to have interactable trees and you have the UNTerrain component on it, you want to make sure you disable the enable tree colliders on the terrain collider. The reason you want to do it is because if you don't do it, it's going to overlap with the colliders that uNature creates. Now, in the UNTerrain component you have 4 tabs. The first one is the grids management, second one is pool management, third one is the vegetation management, and the fourth one is the tree instances management. In the first one, the grids management, you have the sector resolution. So what the sector is basically, if I just enable this in here, the debug mode, the sector creates these white squares in here. Now these white squares separate the trees into certain zones. So as you can see, these 4 trees are in one zone here, or is it 5, I don't know, but these trees in here are in one zone, and these 2 or 3 here also in one zone, in a different one. So this kind of removes the overhead of needing to look into each tree on your terrain. So it's very essential. Now the 10 is recommended for a terrain which is 500 and 500 in width, or even 1000, doesn't really matter. But if you have more, you want to increase it. But for something like that, it's more than sufficient. Next up is the pool management. Now the pool management was already covered on the last part. You have it in the pool item tab, and you have it in the pool amount, and then you have the update pool. This will also be more covered in depth in the next part. Third one is vegetation management, which will be covered in the grass series. And then there is the tree instance management. This in here will show you all of the prototypes you have on your terrain. Now, if you click on them, you will have, on one of them, you will have the pool settings. Now the pool settings has two toggles on it. The first one is the forced creation of this item. This means that, as you know, uNature doesn't create pool items for trees that are not drawn. But if you enable down here, it's going to create a pool. It's going to create this tree even though it's not placed. Now the reason you might want to have it is because, let's say you place the trees on runtime and you don't have it placed before that, you won't need to regenerate the pool, and it's going to already exist. Okay, and then you have the ignore creation trigger collisions, which means that when it creates the pool of this tree, it's not going to create colliders that have the trigger variable assigned. So that's pretty much it. Obviously, on every time you change a setting here, you want to make sure you update the pool, and that's it pretty much for this part. Very simple, nothing too complicated. The trees aspect is very straightforward and doesn't require much work to implement. And yeah, that's it.